Something historic is happening right now and most people are completely missing it. The world order, the ones that existed since World War II, is changing in real time, and it's not happening in a dramatic war or revolution. It's happening in quiet meetings in Beijing, in trade deals signed in New Delhi, in leaders who used to avoid China now lining up at Xi Jinping's door. Let me show you what I mean. January 2026, in just 1 month, 5 world leaders visited Beijing to meet with President Xi Jinping. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer, South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung, Ireland Prime Minister, Finland Prime Minister. These are not random countries, these are America's allies, NATO members and the so-called Western Bloc, and they all are making deals with China while Trump threatened them with tariffs. Let's start with Canada. Mark Carney flew to Beijing in January, the first Canadian Prime Minister to visit China since 2017. He signed a trade deal that cut Chinese tariffs on Canadian canola from 84% to just 15%. That's nearly $3 billion in export opportunities unlocked. Canada also slashed Chinese electric vehicle tariff from 100% down to 6.1%. Trump's response: he threatened a 100% tariff on all Canadian goods. 100%, but Canada did not back down. They kept the deal. Then came the United Kingdom. Keir Starmer landed in Beijing on January 28 with 60 British business executives, the first UK Prime Minister to visit China in 8 years. China halved tariffs on British whiskey from 10% to 5%. British companies got access to China market. Trump called it very dangerous and warned Britain against making deals with China, but Starmer didn't care. He went anyway. And the biggest move, on January 27th, the European Union and India signed what they are calling the mother of all deals, a free trade agreement covering 2 billion people and 25% of global GDP. European Council President in Delhi said that the global order is being fundamentally reshaped. That's not speculation, that's a top EU official admitting what's happening. So the question is why? Why are the America's closest allies suddenly running to China? The answer is simple: unpredictability. Let me give you the timeline. One day Trump supports Canada-China deal. A week later he threatens 100% tariff over the same deal. He calls Starmer's China visit very dangerous while simultaneously negotiating his own China visit for April 2026. He threatens to annex Greenland, suggests Canada should become America's 51st state, and on January 17 threatened an additional 10% tariff on 8 European countries unless they supported his Greenland plan. A week later he dropped the threat after a framework of future deal with NATO. This is the problem. America's allies can't plan, they can't strategize. They don't know what Trump will demand tomorrow, what he will threaten next week, or whether he will honor any agreement he makes today. Meanwhile, China is sitting there being predictable. This is not about choosing sides. Countries are not abandoning America for China. They are diversifying. They are hedging their bets because in business, in trade, and in global economics, predictability is everything. If you can't rely on your biggest partner, you find new partners. If Washington threatens you with tariff one day and praises your deal next, you go where the deals are stable. And here's what makes this movement different. China is not forcing anyone. They are just being there, being consistent, offering deals, and that's enough. Because when the alternative is a superpower that might threaten 100% tariff over a tweet, suddenly Beijing's predictability looks pretty good. The world is not choosing between America and China anymore. They are choosing stability over chaos. They are choosing trade over threats. They are choosing partners who honor agreements over partners who tear them up on a whim. This is the beginning of a multipolar world, not because China defeated America, but because America is isolating itself. The irony is brutal. Trump called his policy America first, but it's pushing America's allies toward everyone else. History will look back at January 2026 as a turning point, the month when America's closest ally lined up in Beijing, the month when EU and India signed a deal covering 2 billion people, the month when Canada chose a $3 billion China deal over America threats, the month when the world order stopped revolving around Washington. This is not the end of America power. The US is still the world's largest economy. It still has the strongest military. But power without predictability is just chaos, and allies without trust are just waiting to leave. The world is changing and the most people are not even noticing. I'm Aryan and you just witnessed this shift. If you found this video helpful and insightful, please share with your friend and like this video.